Back everybody to WWTA Gaming. Wow, what an eventful time we are in. What is going on in the gaming community? We got a lot of games that will be releasing coming shortly. We have Starfield looking for its release. We have Forza Motorsport, which I'm so excited about. I can't wait. Hardly can't wait. We also have The First Descendants. I believe it's going to be an open beta. Also about to release. Wow. Yes, and we have Gamescom this week dropping off all these new titles that are coming out this year and next year. So, with all of that going on, wow, an eventful year. It's an eventful year. I mean, what more can you say other than, even though it's an eventful year, for PC players, it's it's a lot of work we're going to need to do going forward. And I'll just say this, I'm running a 60 an RX, excuse me, a Radeon RX 6650 XT graphics card, which is not really that great. I'm sure there are people that use even less than that. And wow, right? And we know the prices range, so that becomes a possible headache for people coming into the PC gaming world. With the consoles, you are limited in your gaming, but you get a pretty decent, you're getting a gaming experience for around $500, whereas with a PC, you could be possibly paying $500 for a graphical processing unit. And I mean, I'm all for it. Mainly because in the console world, again, you're limited to your gaming, all right? Um, in the PC world, we have things like Steam, we have Epic Gaming, Steam Gaming, Epic Gaming, and many more like come on, what's these titles? Nexon Gaming, the other ones. I can't think of all these names. But coming out of places like China, so on and so forth, we have access to this type of gaming on a PC. You don't really have access to this type of game. Well, you don't have access to this type of gaming on a console. Console is limited, so you pretty much have to wait for certain games to be released, and they probably will never get released on console, mainly because of how these games are designed and created. So what does all this mean? Like, with all these games coming out, and with this sorry news you're saying, like, oh my God, what do you mean? I mean, yes, it's a great space. PC gaming is a great space. I wouldn't change it. I'm not going to change it other than getting a better graphical processing unit. That's on the way. We're going to make that change. But it just means that, and I say this, trying to jump right in is possible if you're willing to take on debt. A lot of people will just slide a card, take on the debt. Hey, there's a gaming PC from this website. It'll cost me 3 grand. Slide the card, boom, 3 grand. Got this ultra awesome gaming PC. A lot of people probably can't do that. Me being one of, I mean, I could. I'm just not going to do that. I'm not for that at all. There's a lot of things as a full-grown adult with responsibilities. Now, I say this also: if you game for a living and you generate income from digital media, then you want the best. So if you're sliding a card and taking on debt, just saying, for business purposes, because I've run businesses before and I've had to slide that card to get everything I needed for that business to make money. And then in making that money, I was able to clear the debts created from sliding that card. So if you're making money and it's a business move, hey, by all means, do what you got to do. Now I'm talking about hobbyists, right, that enjoy their PC gaming as a hobby. Now, me, I do enjoy driving simulation games. I really enjoy Grand Theft Auto and Red Dead Redemption. And before you people go wild, this guy did jump on the stage. This guy's all over the place. It's just not that serious, though, bruh. Like, it's not that serious. You know what I'm saying? The game is going to release. I mean, in all actuality, you're kind of bringing lights to those like, what do you mean GTA 6? Like, what, you know what I'm saying? Why is everybody so hyped up on it? Yeah, it's going to be an amazing game, obviously. But it ain't that serious. We've got Red Dead Redemption 2. We have Grand Theft Auto 5. We have a modding world if you're on a PC. If you're not on the PC and you're on a console, you don't have it. We have stuff like 5M and Rage. So you've got a lot of places to get your fix if you're, that hyped up on Grand Theft Auto. So it's really not that big of a deal. But anyways, yes, a guy jumped on stage at Gamescom when they were introducing our what's this guy's name? The head of Bethesda, developer, whatever this guy was. He was going to explain to us a little bit about Starfield, and yeah, the cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs hopped up there, and it happened. It happened. Not the end of the world though, but it happened. So, anyways, as we look at what is necessary, you don't have to, as a hobbyist, you don't have to go crazy. You can do stuff like, you know what? I have enough money right now to, I don't know, order a motherboard CPU package, right? Combo. And you can find these on places like Newegg and, you know, PC part stores. They're all over the internet. You can find this stuff. So you can find yourself something like, oh, wow, there's a package over here with a Ryzen 7 CPU with this particular motherboard for like 400 bucks. I don't know, 400 bucks. And that's where you start. You say, you know what, I'm going to build an awesome computer and I want to get this built within a year. You can start there. If you want to build a computer as soon as possible, then you're going to do things a little bit differently. You're going to be a little more cost friendly, and you're going to set yourself a timeline, and you're going to set basically uh, organize your bills and finances to where you can set a time frame to get that done. And it's just as simple as saying, okay, I know every month I have about $500 extra money that I would usually, throw left and throw right into stuff that's pointless. So what I'll do is I'll set all that money to the side, and because that's just waste money, and I get to the end of the month, once it's all there, I'll make a decision on what I want to do. And that's what you'll do. It takes a little bit of patience, but it can get done because the gaming is changing. Like now, the big rave is an 8 gig memory on a graphics card is just not getting it done, and it's not. It's not. I'll say this. I've cranked up settings on Grand Theft Auto 5 with my Radeon RX 6650 XT. And with all that stuff cranked up, running on a 4K, it's like, hey, buddy, you don't have enough memory. So, this game might not act right. And it literally tells you this. And I'm sitting there like, wow. So let's go ahead and knock some of these things down, bring some of the, not performance, but like the graphical settings for some of the high quality stuff you want to see, just bring it on down. And then it's like, yeah, but I mean, I can do that, but it's like, okay, this is my thing, my hobby, and I make YouTube videos with this stuff. So eventually one day I'll probably make money with it. I don't make money now, obviously. But one day. So it's like you might as well, in my case, might as well go ahead and see what your next upgrade would be. And so that's where I am. And so when I think about where this gaming space is going, yeah, as a hobby, you probably can mess around with that, 8 gigs of memory and be fine and be happy. If you take your gaming seriously, you're not going to play around with that. You're not. You're just not. You're going to be like, no, I need a 3950X, excuse me, a 6950 XT or a 3090 Ti or something, or like a 4070 or 4080 or 4090. You're really going, oh, wow, that money going high, bruh. Yeah, yeah. Some of these cards, are like you break into the thousands real quick. You break into that 1K and above real quick. And again, if you run a business and you're making money, right? It makes sense. Go ahead, by all means, charge it to the game. You'll pay it off. It's not a big deal. And if you're in a good financial position where you can do that and you know you can pay it off, that off in 6 months to a year, hey man, go with it. Be happy. Be happy. Because the gaming is changing. They're talking about Unreal 5 engine and how it puts a brutal beating on these graphic cards, and it's doing that. I mean, I get it, but when you're playing your games, you really want to get yourself immersed and enjoy the game. So it's like you might as well do a really good investment with that. So for PC gamers, it's an investment. For console gamers, I get it. Your hobby is gaming too, and your investment is in your console. But I'll just say, when you spend that console money, you're limited really bad. Like, you have no idea how limited to gaming you are. It's literally, I don't understand why these console uh, creators don't, move more into the PC side in a sense. Like, they could do like a setup that runs Steam, right? Steam has an OS. Steam has an OS, okay? And I would say PlayStation and Xbox. Well, Xbox pretty much has their Xbox Online thing where you can get a hold of all these games. But again, PlayStation and Xbox, you should probably add Steam app to your consoles, okay? Yes, it's going to cause a beat down to, well, it's not really going to be that bad because you know the graphical stuff can be altered in the games. So it's not going to be that rough. But if the console developers ever added in, like Steam, the Steam app or the Steam OS or something like that you can boot up, opposite of your PlayStation, or they could just opt into that. You know what I'm saying? And PlayStation could really bring their games into Steam like their first. Well, it's not even that their games. Let's just get rid of that. Yeah. They could just really go with the Steam OS on their platform, and then they could, yeah, just start there, right? They could offer that and sell like a PlayStation that has a Steam operating system. That opens the door to a lot of things. I mean, a lot of things. And it makes you a natural competitor because if your PlayStation and Xbox, in my personal opinion, I don't think their fight is about so much whose games are on it. I mean, I get it, but my fight that I would see the fight is how much better is your console at playing the games that I want to play versus Xbox's console, right? It's just like when we buy GPUs, when we're upgrading our computers, well, which CPU do I want? CPU, GPU, what memory, which memory company's memory do I want to buy? What speed memory. You know what I'm saying? So we look at those things like building our computers as who's the competitor, who is what I'm looking for, how good will it run and operate in my system. So for PlayStation and Xbox, in my personal opinion, yeah, man, if they're running a Steam operating system, then that gives the communities access instantaneously to that, and then they could use their software as apps that can be booted up inside. And it's not even that that's necessary because you have a long major list and library of Steam gaming, right? And and then you could also offer well, Epic isn't big enough yet. They're not as big as Steam is. So I don't know. I would offer a Steam OS, and then maybe I'd start there. I would really start there because you're limited. So, in my personal opinion, when I look at PlayStation, Xbox, yes, you're just limited. Now, Xbox is consuming up a lot of companies, so they have access to a lot of games. I get it, but you can also find all these Xbox games that you find on Xbox on Steam. So, as a PlayStation owner, I would really want PlayStation to have a Steam operating system or a Steam app that I can go into and run games. Now, 9 times out of 10, you want the OS. The OS gives you instantaneous access to the software, and then you can just boom, 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 go straight to the games, you know what I'm saying, and buy them up, blah, blah, blah. And then I would, secondary run the actual PlayStation app. So, even though I probably wouldn't use it, because seriously, once the games are all in something like Steam, who cares? Who cares what freaking uh, console has what relationship with what game? You know what I'm saying? Nobody cares. We just want to play with our friends and just enjoy it. If I like your PlayStation because it has great hardware and it runs the game, in my opinion, faster and better than an Xbox does, I'm going to buy that over the Xbox, okay? And if I can't find an Xbox and I want an Xbox, but the only thing I can find is a PlayStation, but it has the Steam OS, well, I don't care. I'm getting the PlayStation because it has the Steam OS and it brings me access to all these different games. You know what I'm saying? Share your thoughts, your ideas about the gaming space and where you see it going in the future. Not want to get into it. Share your thoughts and ideas, and I'll catch you all in the next episode.